What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie298 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And I think it's always interesting to take a look forward at the next year to see what games we would be interested in coming out. I'm going to go a little further than that. I'm going to take a look at the games I'm excited about and some of the games that I'm not excited about at all. Let's see whether or not you guys can change my mind in the comment section. One to start off the list with my most anticipated game, which I think is everybody's most anticipated game. I mean, honestly, if you're not looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077, I'm really curious as to why, because you've got your first-person shooter aspect, you can play it in a stealth style, you've got the RPG aspect, and I mean, that's where the game really shines to me. I mean, that's where I'm most interested in, because this is being developed by CD Projekt Red, the same folks who made The Witcher 3, and if you played The Witcher 3, you will know that the RPGing there is better than anywhere else, because every decision you make will severely impact the story and the game as a whole. So you can also count on CD Projekt Red to put out a complete product, a fixed product, a finished product without all of that extra microtransactions and BS. With Witcher 3, they gave away a tremendous amount of DLC, and I'm sure they will do it again with this game as well. And when you buy DLC from CD Projekt Red, you always get your money's worth. You practically get an entire game's additional content. So, whereas as much as I like Cyberpunk, and as much as I like RPG games, I'm mostly just excited because I know the developer of this game has so far done no wrong, and I expect them to do no wrong moving forward. I mean, the last two E3s, I got to see closed-door demos and talk to the developers, and I pretty much trust them explicitly at this point. Now they've added Keanu Reeves to it, and it's breathtaking.
You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
But now on the other side, there's a game that I'm not excited to play at all, and that's Psychonauts 2. And, you know, it's probably for the pettiest reasons. I never played the first Psychonauts, and I've been told I absolutely should. I probably will before this game comes out. But, you know, is it Tim Schafer who's developing this game? That's one of those things that just, I don't know, Tim was kind of shitty at points during that whole Gamergate thing, and it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So anything coming from Double Fine is something I'm not particularly looking forward to. I try not to judge a game based on the politics. Lord knows I did play Borderlands 3 after Randy Pitchford shoved his foot in his mouth a bunch of times, but I don't know. There's just nothing about this game that speaks to me. I'm hoping when it comes out and we see more of it, maybe it will. Or maybe after I play the first game. Now, when it comes to games I'm excited about, though, the Final Fantasy VII Remake seems really interesting to me. I'm a little bit concerned that some of the story beats and some of the more interesting stuff that I got in the original Final Fantasy VII is not going to be there. I'm really curious to see some of the changes they've made. I think some of the changes they made to Tifa, for example, is something I wouldn't have made if it were up to me. But hey, at the end of the day, I think this is going to be its own game. We can still go back and play Final Fantasy VII when we want to, and this game will be its own thing. I'm hoping in this day and age of incredible remakes like Resident Evil 2, we're going to see a really amazing remake here, and bringing in that Final Fantasy 15 style combat is going to make this story a story that a lot of people who would have never played the previous game play the new one. I still have a soft spot in my heart for JRPG turn-based gameplay. This isn't that, but I don't know, man. Looking at that high-res textures for Cloud and the other characters just really makes me want to revisit this story, and I hope you'll revisit it with me. Now, a game that I'm not so sure how I feel about just yet is Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I think I need to wait for the reviews for this one. I mean, I played a lot of Pocket Camp on my phone without ever spending any money, by the way, and I did play the previous 3DS entry quite extensively, putting like 80, 90, maybe even 100 hours into it, and it was a great game to just log into, play for a little while, and then log out. So it's going to be a very cool, natural fit for the Nintendo Switch, but the previous games that I played were just so very repetitious that I just really didn't find a lot there for me. I'm really hoping that all of the new features and all of the other things that they're adding to this game really make a big difference and add a lot more depth to the game. I'm going to get the point of the game. It's just a casual collectathon where you're out gathering fruits and stuff and fossils and selling them and using that to buy furniture and decorate homes and meeting new friends and meeting new animals and collecting all the animals and collecting all... I get it. but I just want it to be a little bit deeper than that. So I don't know. I'm expecting a lukewarm reception for myself, though I know a lot of my friends are actually really looking forward to it. Next up is Persona 5 Royale, which is promising us, a whole brand new story and a brand new semester at the Academy with brand new characters and brand new stuff to do and brand new stuff to collect. And I'm looking forward to that. Even though Persona 5 was a game that I maybe played for 20 hours and then just eventually got to a point that I realized I was never going to be able to find the time to complete that game with a busy schedule. With all the other video games that I had to play during that time, eventually I just had to move on. And I keep waiting for Persona 5 to come to the Nintendo Switch, and it still hasn't. That would be the perfect place for that game to come, and I just don't know why it's not there yet. I'm hoping between now and Persona 5 Royale, we'll get an announcement that it'll come out on the Nintendo Switch, and I can play that there, and then play all the new stuff on the PlayStation 4 when it drops there. But yeah, I wish this wasn't what looks like a PlayStation exclusive. That's kind of frustrating. Next up on the list is Marvel's Avengers A-Day. And I know this game is very contentious because they didn't spend whatever money that they needed to spend in order to get the licenses for the actors' faces. So they don't look and they don't sound like our Avengers. But having been a comic book fan, I'm open to the idea of multiple dimensions and multiple universes and multiple Iron Mans. So having Iron Man and Thor look different and sound different isn't particularly frustrating for me. What looks good about this game to me is the cutscenes are fine, but the gameplay that I have seen so far does look really good and really interesting. And again, I will overlook bad dialogue in order to play a very fun gameplay loop. Borderlands 3 was my game of the year last year, and that had some of the most annoying dialogue and acting of any game ever. So absolutely, I'm looking forward to the Avengers. I'm just expecting him to mess it up, so I'm definitely waiting for the reviews on this one as well. Next up is Doom Eternal, and if you played Doom in 2016, you'll know why I'm looking forward to this game. I got a chance to play this at E3, both on the Xbox as well as on Stadia, and I have to say I'm really looking forward to this game because it's got all of that just adrenaline rushing, metal thumping action that you were expecting from this game. What I'm really hoping when it comes to Doom Eternal, though, is that once I beat the campaign, there's going to be more gameplay for me there. I do love single-player games, don't get me wrong, and I obviously want Doom to be a single-player game. But the original Doom, back when I was a kid, had all of those mods and people were making all kinds of different levels, and they tried that a little bit with Doom 2016, but those additional features were just not that well developed. I'm hoping between 2016 and 2020, those kits where people can make their own maps, their own campaigns, and the multiplayer will be a little bit more interesting this time around. I mean, if I spend $60 on this game and I just play through the single player campaign, and it's as good as the demo was that I played at E3, I'm going to be satisfied with that. But I don't think it's wrong to hope for even more Doom with that ticket price. Now, I know one of the most anticipated games of the year for a lot of people is Ghost of Tsushima, which is obviously coming out on the PlayStation 4. It might likely come out on the PlayStation 5 as well. It's supposed to be out this summer. And this is being developed by the folks over at Sucker Punch, who also made the Infamous games, which I absolutely love. But this is not a game that I'm particularly excited for, and it's because it looks like one of those very difficult Souls-like games. They have come out and said that there are going to be multiple difficulty levels, that if you want this game to truly wreck you, that will be an option. But I'm hoping that the base difficulty of this game will be somewhere around the lines of Jedi Fallen Order, so that I'll actually be able to play it. I just wasn't able to stomach Sekiro, and even though I know that was Game of the Year for most people, I just couldn't enjoy it because I'm not good at parry systems. I'm not good at these types of games. So I don't know if I'm looking forward to this game or not until I finally get an idea of whether or not someone with my 45-year-old skills can actually handle it. It looks like a fun game to watch, if nothing else. Next up on the list is a game that I truly want to look forward to because it has so much innovation and weird stuff in it, and that's Watch Dogs Legion. And I've seen the gameplay demo. I recommend you go check it out for yourself, but I think going into this game without even knowing that much would be a good thing. They're really trying some really unique and interesting stuff here, and I want this game to be good, but the problem is it's being developed by Ubisoft. Ubisoft has been such a dumpster fire for the last year and a half. I just don't know if I trust them to get this game right. I don't even know that it'll run the day that it ships, and I'm sure it's just going to be filled with microtransactions. I know there's a lot of rumors saying that Ubisoft has learned their lesson and this game will be fine and you won't have to worry about it. But until this game is in our hands, until the reviews are out, until we absolutely know how Ubisoft is choosing to monetize and produce this game, I'm just going to hold my reservations. But everything they are trying with this game seems new and interesting and innovative, and Watch Dogs is a really cool property, so I hope they get it right. I'm going into it hesitantly hopeful, and that's saying a lot for Ubisoft these days. Next up is a game that I'm absolutely just chomping at the bit for, and that is Halo Infinite. And I really feel like Microsoft has learned their lessons when it came to Halo 5. I really feel like there's no real big mistakes here. And with this cinematic trailer that we got at the Game Awards and an E3, I just gotta say, I am really looking forward to this game because it seems like they've put the heart back into Halo, and that heart always being Master Chief. I don't mind that they tried something new with Halo 5, but the story was just so bad. The gameplay was only mediocre, and I just could not even finish the campaign, choosing to watch somebody else play the rest of it anyway, and then still not even liking it then. I did put a lot of time into the multiplayer for it, but some of the multiplayer from previous games were way considerably better. The fact that this is going to be a launch title for the new Xbox, that it'll most likely be on that version of Game Pass, that it's also coming out on PC, means a lot of people are going to be able to play this game, and I think Microsoft knows that they have to get this game right. I expect them to be very low on the monetizations, very high on the gameplay, with an incredible story. I mean, that cinematic trailer is promising us a very, very good story, so fingers crossed. I'm really looking forward to this one. And then finally, for this list, just to try to keep this video short, is The Last of Us Part 2. And if for some reason you still haven't played The Last of Us Part 1, I highly recommend it. I have yet to go back and play the DLC for that game, so I know I probably need to between now and when this game comes out. But the PlayStation 4 version of this game is absolutely fantastic. If you own a PlayStation 4, you should absolutely have played the first game. And this game seems to be a continuation from there. And I just trust Naughty Dog to knock it out of the park. I absolutely trust Sony to have spent all the time and money necessary to make this a really good game. I do hope that they improved on the gameplay from the first game. Some of the crafting and the other stuff was just kind of frustrating and annoying to me, even though it did give that survival feel, and the ammo management was absolutely cool as well. But I hope that there's a little bit better gameplay with just as incredible of a story. I think it's going to be hard to top the story or even compete with the story from the first game, but what they've shown us so far looks pretty dang good. I am a little worried that this game is going to get politicized. I'm very worried that, I don't know, it seems like they might have an agenda behind this game instead of just letting the story stand on its own. I hope that doesn't happen, and I hope that the people playing this game don't politicize it once it's in their hands. I hope this game can just be what Last of Us #1 was, which is just a really, really good game. So that's it. That's just some of the games I'm really interested in here. There's enough for a part 2 as well. So if you are interested in that, let me know in the comment section below if you'd like to see a part 2 to this, because I mean, there's Half-Life 3 technically kind of coming out for VR. There's a cool skateboarding game. There's probably another 10 or 15 games that I'm looking forward to this year. But these are just some of the hottest titles, so I thought I would get them out of the way and let you know what I thought, whether I was looking forward to them or not. Now, that's just one man's opinion. I can't wait to see your opinion in the comment section below. While you're down there, do me a favor, drop a like on this video if you did enjoy it. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And if you already are subscribed, hit that notification bell so you can see videos like this as soon as they go live. Watching them when you get a notification is a great way to make sure that that video is successful. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.